Hey creative cousins, it's your favorite creator Lala, and I am back with another coloring video. And not every creative process lands the first time, and today's session is a good example of how I work through that. I'm using pastel alcohol markers on this page, and at one point I pause and adjust something with acrylic paint pens. That small change really shifts this whole piece, so color along if you want, or just relax and hang out and watch the coloring process. I wanted to start this session off with the skin because that's typically where I gravitate to when I am first starting off coloring a coloring page. I don't know, it's just something about the skin, like I need it to be perfect in my own eyes before I can move on to anything else on a page. Sometimes I'll start off with like the clothes or maybe like the background, but for the most part I start off with the skin because the skin to me sets the whole tone of the page. So here you see me starting off with the thin permissum color in the Senjoki skin tone alcohol color palette. And this is going to act as a highlight color for this girly skin tone. She is going to be like a red velvety skin tone color, so I did go a little bit darker with the highlight tone. And you know what they say, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, so we are about to make her extra sweet on this page. I don't start skin tones thinking, what color is this? I normally start thinking, what mood am I trying to create? For this piece, I wanted the skin to feel calm and settle, like she's existing in her own soft moment. So that's why I'm staying within these tones and color ranges instead of jumping straight into tones that wouldn't particularly go with this page, in my opinion. Red velvety skin to me is something that is extra sweet, but still demands a lot of attention. And I think that's what I can appreciate about how I laid down the layers for the color of this girly skin. So now I'm actually going in with like a redder brown, like a reddish brown. This is just going to lay a more warm skin tone down for this model. I could have went with a cooler color for her flesh tone, but I wanted her to look red velvety-ish, so it made sense in my head to go ahead and lay down the second layer of skin with a reddish brown. And I believe this reddish brown is the what is it? I believe it is the terracotta brown that I laid down second. If it isn't the terracotta, it has to be the potato brown, but I believe it's terracotta because terracotta is a little bit more, it has a little bit more of a redder tone than the potato brown in the Senjoki skin tone marker set. I actually wanted her skin tone colors to blend naturally and not rush the whole process. I find that when I rush the skin tone process, it kind of messes everything up and I always end up having to fix it. So I just really wanted to take my time with laying down layers of colors of her skin. This video does not do justice of how long it took me to color this actual page. The total time I used to color this actual page was, according to my camera that I recorded this on, 5 whopping hours of nonstop coloring. So I really did want to pay attention to how much I laid down skin tone and paid attention to details when it came to this page, because essentially what I'm trying to do is make all of my coloring pages that I quote unquote execute as art prints that I'll be selling in events that I'll also have posted here on my YouTube channel for you guys to follow and watch my creative process grow and watch me become a full-time artist right before your eyes. And when I say quote unquote execute a coloring page, I mean to my liking. I know that coloring does not have to be essentially perfect and you can do your own thing when it comes to coloring pages. But for me, I want to quote unquote execute what I color so that I can make them into products for other people to enjoy. So that is the goal. Hopefully we can finish all of these coloring pages in my newly established coloring book. It is called the Spreading Galore Baba Voom Edition 1 coloring book. It isn't out yet for purchase. I have to relaunch it. If you want to know a little bit about me, I did start my coloring book artist journey a while back. It's been about 3 years since I've started. I had some bumps along the way, not really knowing where to start or how to finish things. So this year I said I would take the initiative to actually, execute things and get my brand growing and flourishing. So this is one of the big steps that I've decided to take within my artist career, which would be making long form content. And yes, long form content scares me, but I'm willing to put myself out there so that I can, be able to be a full-time artist, because like I said, corporate America is just not for me, and I want something bigger and better for myself. But anyways, enough rambling on. We've now made it to the darkest skin tone color that I'll be using for her. And I believe this is the natural oak color in the Sanjoki skin tone marker set as well. I want to say natural oak because that's the darkest brown that's in there. It's either that or the brun color. I do apologize in advance. I meant to take down all of these skin tones when I did start this coloring page, but I'm not at all the most organized artist, as surprising as that may sound. I'm very organized when it comes to other things in life. Like, I have to have everything organized around in my house, but when I get to creating, like, my desk turns into a tornado storm, if you will, of nothing but never-ending art supplies that end up scattered on my desk. So I try my best, but maybe in the next video I can be a little bit more organized for you all, just in case you guys want to try the skin tone color combo out for yourselves. But yeah, that is why I don't really know what color this is. If now that I'm looking at it, it may be the other color, but I don't know it offhand. I'll post it in the, actually, you know what I'll do? I will post the color combo that I use for the skin in the link section below. I guess that's what they call it on YouTube. Don't bash me if I'm wrong. I am new here. I'm trying to learn all of the new things about YouTube. But yeah, it'll be posted below for you guys to review. Now we are going to head on to the mistake that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. So I wanted this coat to be like a pastelish helium type texture bubble coat. But instead, I started with darker hues and I wasn't really feeling it too much. After layering down the blue color, I was like, no, I have to go ahead and erase this. And I did that by using the bleach marker. You get bleach markers in just about all of the alcohol marker sets that you buy from any said company. So I didn't really even care how much bleach that I would be wasting on trying to rub out my mistakes, even though I was unaware that I was going to go right over this with pastel acrylic paint pen, in which I could have just kept it and left it alone instead of erasing it. But I know for next time so that I won't waste my bleach. But yeah, this was a total nightmare. It actually took me about a day and a half to just stare at my mistake. And I even asked some of my followers on TikTok, does anyone have any suggestions on how I should fix this? And at first I was thinking acrylic paint pen, but I was like, I don't know if that would work. And for some odd reason in my head, I just wanted to go over it with like a pastel Prismacolor pencil, not really thinking that, pencil versus bleached alcohol marker is not going to work, girl. So shout out to my follower on TikTok. Her name is Mika. She gave me the lovely suggestion to go over that demarcation that we saw just a little while ago with acrylic paint pen. So we'll come back to that later. So now here are the pastel alcohol marker tones that I told you that I did for this page. I just love how like this whole effect happened with pastel marker. Like I don't normally gravitate towards pastel colors, but I'm starting to like them more and more now that I'm actually going back and looking at this whole process. Like I think I'm gonna include pastel colors in a lot of the coloring pages that I do from now on because it's so cute. Like I don't know, like it just, who wouldn't love it? Like I don't know, you have to be like into like darker hues or just the color black to hate this, I feel like. And speaking of color preference, let me know in the comments if you'd color this differently. I'm curious to know like how you guys would have taken on the approach of coloring this digital art piece that I've created called Rubber Dub Dub. I don't know, like for me, because of the name Rubber Dub Dub, I just wanted brighter, bolder colors. So I'm interested to know what you guys would do in this situation. Would you go darker? Would you go lighter? Would you go in between? Let me know, because I'm curious. To actually make these pastel colors pop a little bit more, I decided to color the rest of the jacket with this deep pastel bluish color, just so that the yellow and the light pink could pop a little more, because when you're doing the helium effect, you have to contrast it with that one dark pastel color that makes the helium stands out, like it makes it 3D-ish kind of in a way. And by the way, I do want to say that I did not totally execute this technique. I do want to revisit it on another coloring page for another day, or maybe try it on this same coloring page as well, because although the texture was texturing when I finished this page, I just wasn't like, oh, it screams helium. And that's okay because, creating art is a learning process. So I don't try to like, before I would try to make things so perfect and get them so right, but now I've evolved into just enjoying the creative process. So I like to learn as I go and just take down little tidbits and try to revisit it later if I haven't fully executed a technique. And that's okay because we make mistakes here and we don't judge. So you're in the right place if that's something that you're looking for. So now I'm just applying the same pastel colors that I did on the other side of the jacket to this side of the jacket. This was just so fun. Like, I just have to say, like, just seeing the bright colors show up on the jacket and she's just rocking it like an American's Next Top model. Like, she's doing the damn thing. Like, I really like this on her. The only thing that I cannot stand is this eyesore that is at the bottom left of the screen. I just really just despise looking at it for the first day of me trying to work on this page. I believe this was the first day I started it. Just wasn't really like feeling the page, to be honest with you, at the time. I'm in awe now just looking at the pastel colors. You have to look back at your work to really appreciate what you've done with your whole creative process. And just looking back on it, I'm like, I don't know why I didn't see this as amazing before. I think like my confidence kind of got shut down after I messed up the page because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to fix this. And I don't know how to fix it. Like, literally, like I'm over here panicking because I had a vision and now it's going to flop, but whatever. So now I'm trying to achieve a helium look by going in with more smaller, fine details on the jacket. Um, I am gonna ruin this for you. The top of the jacket, I did redo it too as well because I was not happy with it, you guys. And sometimes as an artist, you have to just appreciate your mistakes. I know. But for me, like if I have a vision, I want to execute it as best as I can. So I know it's kind of stressful hearing me stress over it. I'm trying to get better at it too. So if you have any like tips, let me know in the comments what you do in your creative process to not really stress it and just try to not perfect things and just go with the flow, because I'm like a very like, I have to plan everything and things have to be done a particular certain type of way type of person, or I get like anxiety or what have you because things aren't done in a exact way, and I'm trying to overcome that. I want to be more, just go with the flow, da 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 da. But whatever. Anyways, back to the page. I'm still laying down the details. So what I'm doing with the details is I'm taking the darker color hue of the pastel color that I laid down before. So the first color I used was like a denim. No, it's not a denim blue. See, I'm horrible with the colors too, but the color that I used was like a blue color in the Senjoki alcohol marker set. I will post it down below so that you guys can have that information. And then I went over with like a I don't know if this is a chartreuse green, but it's a deeper hue green to go with the yellow. Of course, yellow isn't green, but to make green, you make blue and yellow with it. So it is a complementary a complementary color of yellow. So I went in with that. And then for the pink, I'm going to go in with a burgundy color to kind of, make it all come together with the detail. So, dun dun dun. Here we go. About to fix this eyesore of a coloring mistake that I've made. So, as you see, I'm going over with like a pastel yellow acrylic paint pen. This one is the older Shuttle Art acrylic paint pen brand. I really love how Shuttle Art paint pens are very like opaque. So I was like, let's try and see what I can do with this, because I know if I'm gonna lay down any color with Shuttle Art, it isn't gonna smear, it's not gonna be watery, it's gonna be very light but still opaque. So, and that's kind of what pastel colors are. So this was perfect for the, I guess, like the band-aid for the problem. I really just like how the colors are coming together now, and now I'm going to add in a deeper yellow just so that pastel yellow can pop a little bit more, just like how the colors are with the acrylic marker that I laid down. Not acrylic, I'm sorry, alcohol marker that I laid down on the jacket prior to. And then I have a pastel pink that I'm doing the same thing with. Same concept, same thing that I did with the alcohol markers, just with acrylic paint pen. My goodness. And then I also have the lavender I think it's like a lavender pastel acrylic paint pen that I laid down too. And I just go in with those colors and I add those in. And I know I'm going to add in a baby blue as well, I believe. Yeah, I think I'm going to add in a baby blue as well because I have to get rid of that dark pink. So let's see. Yep, there's the baby blue. So baby blue is like one of my favorite colors right now. So I'm in awe of just watching it in like high definition being laid down on one of my coloring pages. It just makes me love the color even more. Like blue is that color. I never like realized how much I was so into the color until like a couple of years ago. And funny thing about that is that my grandmother's favorite color was blue. So maybe that's something she left with me when she passed to keep, because I just really adore this color now, and it's on everything. It's on my iPad, it's on my MacBook. I have a computer bag that's baby blue. Like I just love the color. Anyhow, I'm going in with some highlights now with my white Sanjoki gel pen. I was not the best at highlighting things prior to the year before last. I struggled very hard with this method just because I didn't really know like where to lay down highlights. But once you play with highlights and stuff, you kind of get the gist of it and you just get better at it over time. There's really no specific method that I use to lay down the highlight colors. I just put it where I thought it fit. And that's pretty much how you get accustomed to it. It's not really a method. It's something that you just have to like strategize in your head, I guess. And now I'm doing the same detailing that I did with the alcohol markers on the top part of the coat with the acrylic paint pen, just to kind of give that same effect. I know the colors aren't spot on, but when you see it all together, it's really going to look like the same thing at the top. You won't even notice that I made a mistake. I'm doing the same thing with the details, adding in the burgundy for the pastel pink to accent that, and then I also laid down the navy blue to accent the baby blue. And then I had to find an olive green acrylic paint pen. I think this is the closest that I was able to find. It's not as dark as I would have liked it to be. If I'm not mistaken, I might go back in with a shadow with the acrylic paint pen to kind of make it appear as though it's a olive green color. I mean, that would have made sense in a sense, but yeah. Now on to her Doc Martens shoes. I really love these shoes. Oh my gosh, if I could have them in real life, I would wear them. I'm starting to get into the chunky shoe feel with my own wardrobe. So this was fun, super fun to color. I knew right off the bat that I wanted them to be like shiny, like Doc Marten shoes. So I went in with a metallic acrylic paint pen from the Grabby brand. And these pens and me have a love-hate relationship. We really don't get along like that. When I first started using Grabby, the ink would like just blot everywhere all over the place. So I kind of feared that that would have happened with this page, but surprisingly, Grabby did what it was supposed to do and more. So I got a little bit more drawn to my Grabby paint pen. Not gonna lie. So this is what she looks like, even with the mistake and everything all cleared up. She's looking good. I had to take a double take at her because I'm trying to configure what I want to do as far as the over it with acrylic paint pen like I did over here with this section that I messed up. So I'm going to go over these big bubbles on her coat. with this section right here, just like that, to make the print be vertical, just like how it is on the bottom with the little print that I have on the bottom. And I think I'll be more happy with it. And then of course, I have to color her hair and the duckies. And I want to do jellyfish in the background for some odd reason. Like her coat is giving me jellyfish vibes. So I was thinking of possibly coloring the back all black and then going over with metallic markers. I've seen these really cute jellyfish on Pinterest that I wanted to try out so that it can kind of pair with her. Let's see if I can focus this. If it could pair with her metallic-y shoes that she has on, her Doc Martens, if you will. Not really, but that was the inspo for it. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna fix this right now, so stay tuned. As far as the horizontal lines that is at the top part of her jacket, her bubble coat, it really was throwing me off. So I decided to change that to make them thicker vertical impressions in the bubble coat, just so that it can look more of like a bubble coat, because the lines I found to be too defined with them laying down. I said vertical, right? No, laying down horizontal. So I wanted to change them to vertical, thicker lines to kind of give that same texture that the coat is given on the bottom. So I went in with the acrylic paint pen again, did the same method with the same color. So, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. We'll just watch this part and enjoy the vivid colors that are laid down on this coloring page. Like, I'm in awe with pastel colors now. I'm gonna start using them a lot on my coloring pages. I just don't know what color palettes to use. If you have any suggestions, make sure you put them in the comments, because I would be so into using color palettes from viewers like you, because I started doing that on TikTok, getting suggestions from my followers on how I should color certain things and what colors I should use, and they really love that. So if I can bring your color fantasy to life, put it in the comments and I will try my best to execute it. Challenge accepted. Seeing all of this is just so satisfying to watch. Like, I just love how dreamy this girl is looking. She's looking like she just came from shopping on Rodeo Drive with her avant-garde bubble coat, and it's sunny outside and no one can tell her anything about these bright colors that she's wearing, because she is the moment. Like, this is what I wanted it to give. I wanted it to feel light and airy and as if she was floating away from reality in life that we live on an everyday basis. I love it. Tell me what you think in the comments about the colors that I've chose. So now I'm just going in and adding in the fine detail on the top part of the jacket to match the bottom part. Again, the pastel colors are not matchy with the bottom of the coat, but you really cannot tell that I changed the substrate. Clock it, because they both look the same to me. Like, yes, the colors look off up close, but when you see it all together, you're gonna be like, dang, you really can't tell the difference. And now I'm about to work on this background. I know I said earlier I was going to do jellyfish, but I lied. Instead, I was leaning more towards bubbles. I feel like coloring the whole background in black would have took out a lot of my alcohol marker, and I need my black alcohol marker for other projects. So we decided to go with bubbles because her outfit is already light and airy and iridescent. So I thought bubbles would match with the whole vibe that's going on. And then plus she has these cute little pastel metallic rubber duckies to go along with it. So bubbles it is. And here I'm just showing like the colors that I use to create the bubbles. First you want to go in with some thin lines with your two main colors for the bubbles, and then I take a bleach pen and I bleach the colors out to make them look opaque, and I just do that a few more times with different colors, the same colors, to kind of give it like that shiny, you know, like when you look inside of a bubble and it's like shiny and iridescent, that type of feel. So you'll see me like layering a whole bunch of colors and blending and bleaching and all of the things just to get one bubble. I swear this is why this page took me a whole 5 hours to complete on this camera alone, not to mention the time that it took me to record for TikTok as well. So the dedication, people, the dedication. If you want to support my channel, that would help so that I can dedicate more time to it and put more effort like this into other coloring pages as well. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this, because this helps my channel grow. This helps me get my art out here, and this helps me become a full-time artist in real life. That is the goal, and that is where we're headed to. But yeah, these bubbles are bubbling. I mean, they're not even done yet. Like, I'm telling you, I layered maybe like 6 or 7 colors to get them to look perfect. This is a watercolor pen that I decided to layer on the top of, like, because you know, like you see, like, at least I do, you see like rainbow and bubbles when you look at them. And here is the final product. Oh my gosh, like, you guys, I'm obsessed with her skin. Can we just get into her skin? Like, baby is giving red velvet cake with the cream cheese filling, baby. Okay, I love it. And then the fro, and then the nails, and then the everything, and then the jacket, and then the ruffles, and then the bubbles, and it's just a lot going on. But I love every single bit of it. This kind of low-key makes me want to do a whole coloring page with just acrylic paint pen, because the colors are just like, you know, like, girl, where are these colors from? Let me know what you guys think of how it turned out in the comments, and I appreciate you guys for watching this video with me. I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time.